Hey YouTube, this is CJSO64 coming at you with another deck profile. Really sick of dragons winning YCSs. Well, today I'm going to give you a Viking profile with T-Bear in the deck. 5-fist Viking, if you want to call it. I think this deck's really good. It's had a good few matchups with dragons and spellbooks. And it actually does have the potential to take on dragons, I reckon, at big events. So let's get into the deck. So first off, we've got 3 Viking High Avatar Garunics, heart and soul of the deck. If it's destroyed, next time my phase comes out, destroys monsters. If it's destroyed by battle, you get out Viking monster from the deck, except itself. So it's a really good card, especially with the destruction of cards in the deck. Next you've got 3 Barong, good to search out the Viking spells and Viking monsters if need be. It's a really good card, and it's also a good beta with Tenki. You can be up to 2000. Then 2 Yaksha. Yaksha's good just for its destruction effect for Barong and Garunics. I really think 2 is good. I think 3 would be too cloggy and a bit slow, so I reckon 2 will be just enough. Next we have 2 Coach Soldier Wolfbark, good for getting monsters out from the bin and going for rank 4 Xyz. It's really good to set up for Tiger King and Diamond Direwolf. It's a really good card. Next up we've got 2 Flammable Fire Dogs. Good with the Viking monsters because 200 defense, Barong and Yaksha. They search out if it's destroying. Really good in this format against spellbooks with their low attack monsters, and against dragons if they leave out weak monsters like Card Trooper and Brave Dragon if their effect got negated. Then next we got 2 Brotherhood of the 5-fist Bear, monster destruction, search for Tenki. Nothing else left to say. Then 2 Blasters. Blast is good for its destruction effect to special summon. That's the way this deck uses it. It's also good for Circle of the Vikings because it's a fire monster, so it can actually be used for it. Then lastly, the 4 hand traps, 2 effect failures, and 2 maxis for this format. I really do think these 4 are needed. Nothing more, otherwise it might override the whole strategy for the deck. So that's the monsters for this deck. Then next off we have 3 Onslaught of the Vikings. The main card for the deck, specialing out a fire monster from your deck that's Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast. Straightforward. Then Circle of the Vikings. It's good to dodge card effects. It's also good to bring out like Garunics and Blaster from bin, and even Crimson Blader after you've Synchro summoned it. Then we've got 2 Tenkis. Search out for Bear and all the Wolfbark and the Barong or Yaksha. Then we've got the staples, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Dark Hole. 2 Rekindlings because you got a lot of monsters in there that have 200 defense. Good for setting up for Xyz plays or basically building up for mass swarm attack and then going for Cowboy for game. Then next, triple MST. Really think this is necessary for this format because of dragons with Ravine and the back row like Return and the 6th Sense now. Just utterly ridiculous. MSTs can be just a good use to block it off. And lastly for the spells, 1 Lance, just in case you don't have Circle of the Vikings, and Lance is just slightly better than Circle of Kings in some situations. So that's the spells for the deck. Next off we have the traps, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Slow Morning, 1 Torrential Tribute, and my tech card, 2 Needle Ceilings. Needle Ceilings good basically because a lot of decks like to overextend, get field presence. Needle Ceilings is just good just to eliminate that kind of presence, and especially with Vikings, they all get their effects if it's destroyed by Needle Ceiling or any other card effect. So it serves this deck really well. So that's the main deck for this deck. Then we've got the extra deck. 1 Abyss Dweller for Dragons and Mermals. 2 Brotherhood of the 5-fist Tiger Kings. Search out for Tenki, the Royal Beast Warrior. It's just good to negate effects. Then next, Diamond Direwolf. Really good card. Really need a second one. I think 1 is good, but 2 is definitely necessary for this deck. Then got Cowboy, Burnt in a Game, enough said. 1 Gemini Pearl, 1 Level Vow Chain, good for sending monsters in the bin for Rekindling or Blaster. Send Blaster to the graveyard to special summon. Then 1 Mace Drake the Symphony Daijin, 1 number 39 Utopia, 1 Photon Papal Imperative, and 1 Steals from Roach. If I had to get rid of 1 monster from this Xyz section, it would have to be Roach. But I guess Roach could be just good for now at the last resort against agents. Then for the Synchros we have 1 Allied Justice Catastar, 1 Crimson Blader, which in this deck can only be made by synchroing one effect valor with the blaster and one mistworm, which can be made through Shield of Falls, which in this case can be achieved through rekindling and then summoning effect valor. So that's the extra deck for this thing here. Now we'll go through the side deck. So we've got 2 DD Crows, just because I don't have debunks at the moment. Debunks are really good. So until I get debunks, DD Crow will just have to do for now. So I mean, debunks are really awesome, and I'd use that over DD Crow. But I mean, DD Crow can be good just to interrupt plays, but debunk is way better. Then 2 Kaikus, prevent removing. I guess that's the Imperial Iron Wall version of the monster. The next 2 Swift Scarecrows basically prevent swarming from swarm decks like Mermals, Dragons, etc. You'll see a lot of decks push through with under max C if they think they can go for game. So you just punish them by drawing all your cards, then Swift Scarecrowing, and then going off the next turn. Then we've got 2 Xyz Encores, good for Evil Swarm in particular. So when you have Ophion on the field that tries to lock the Runics, I guess you've got Encore. And any other Xyz based deck like Madolches or Constellas, it can be used against as well. Then we have 2 Dust Nados. I like to use this against Spellbooks and Dragons just because Dragons like to set a lot of back row like Gregigi Breaks and Phoenix Windblast. So, and even Ravine as well when they get activated. So Dust Nado I reckon is just that extra precaution just for those protection. Also for Burn I guess, and any other anti-meta deck. So like TG Stun. Then next we have triple Imperial Iron Wall, Dragon, Spellbook Hate. It's basically the same reason I use Kaiku and DD Crow or Debunk when I get it. And lastly, Royal Decree for anti-meta decks, TG Stun, and Burn in particular, win condition decks as well. So that's my deck profile for Vikings. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And thanks for watching, guys. This is CJS064 over and out.